There are a lot of CRM tools out there right now, and most of them try to do everything at once. But sometimes you just need something that works without slowing you down. So today, we are diving into Nutshell CRM, and we're going to explore how it handles your sales process from start to finish. We'll look at the interface, the automation, and also the real use case side, so you can decide if this is the right kind of tool for your business. Let's get started. So first, let's talk about what you see when you get in. When you create your account, which is pretty straightforward, you land right into the main dashboard. And right away, you notice something. It does not try to overwhelm you, and that matters, because a lot of CRM tools today try to do everything at once, and then you spend your first week just figuring out where things are. Here, your sales pipeline is right in front of you, so you see your deals as stages: new lead, qualified, proposal, closed, and you can move deals across stages just by dragging them. And that simple interaction actually tells you a lot about the product's philosophy. It wants you to focus on flow, not setup. Now, if you think about your daily routine, this is where you spend most of your time. You come in, you check which deals are moving, which ones are stuck, and then you act. And this is where Nutshell feels quite natural. It does not force you to think too much about structure, because it already gives you a clear one. Then we move a bit deeper, and this is where things start to connect. You have your people, your companies, and your leads, and they are not isolated. So when you open a contact, you see the full timeline: emails, calls, notes, activities, and this becomes your memory system. Instead of trying to remember what happened last week, you just scroll and see the story. And we liked how this part works because it feels less like data entry and more like tracking relationships. And that is what a CRM should do in the first place. Now, let's talk about lists, because this is one area where a lot of users underestimate the value. Inside Nutshell, you can create filtered lists based on conditions. So you can say, show me leads from a certain location, or contacts you haven't reached out to in 7 days. And then you can save that as a dynamic list, which means it keeps updating itself. So what happens here is interesting. Instead of manually checking things, you build logic once and then the system keeps watching for you. And over time, this saves you more effort than you expect. Then we move into email and outreach, which is a big part of any CRM. You can create email templates, and then you can build sequences. So you send one email, then after a delay, another one goes out, and so on. And you can personalize fields like name or company, so it doesn't feel like mass email, even though it is automated. Now, in real use, this works quite well for follow-ups, especially when you have multiple leads and you don't want to miss timing. And also, the system stops the sequence if someone replies, so it avoids awkward situations. But at the same time, we should be honest here. If you're someone who wants very deep automation, like branching workflows or heavy logic trees, this is where Nutshell starts to feel limited. It gives you enough for most small teams, but it doesn't go too far beyond that. Now, let's move into marketing, because this is where things expand a bit. You can create email campaigns, newsletters, and simple drip sequences. And also, you have tools like Visitor IQ, which tracks who visits your website. And this is quite interesting, because it tries to identify companies and potential contacts based on traffic. So if someone visits your site multiple times, you can see that behavior and then reach out. And this is where sales and marketing start to connect inside one system. But again, this is not a full marketing automation suite. It gives you useful tools, but if you're running complex campaigns across multiple channels, you might feel that it's a bit basic. Now, reporting, this is another area that we need to talk about. Inside the Reports section, you get visual dashboards. You can track win rates, deal values, pipeline progress, and team activity. And you can filter by time, by rep, by product, and more. So for a small business, this is actually quite helpful because you don't need to build reports from scratch. You just adjust filters and get insights. And also, you can export data, share reports, and track performance over time, so it gives you that sense of control over your sales process. Now, let's talk about where it really helps you. If you're a small business or a growing sales team and you want something that you can start using quickly, this fits very well because it reduces the friction between setup and usage. You don't need a dedicated admin, you don't need weeks of training. You can just get in, set your pipeline, add your contacts, and start working. And over time, as your data grows, the system keeps everything organized without much effort from your side. So now let's bring it all together. Nutshell CRM feels like a tool that respects your time. It gives you what you need to manage leads, track deals, and communicate with your contacts without turning the process into something complicated. And as you use it daily, you start to see the value in small things. So yes, if your priority is simplicity, structure, and getting work done without friction, and that clarity is actually what makes it useful for the right kind of team. That was all. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more videos.